In this video, I'll teach you step by step everything I did to rescue a dead website and convince Google to love it, eventually increasing its traffic by 61%. If you've ever had a website that you're convinced Google hates, then pay attention. I'll have Google wanting to make out with your website in no time. My name is Matt Diggity, and I'm a director at the Search Initiative, a cutting-edge international SEO agency that prides itself on our time-tested SEO strategies. First, let's get into the case study itself. The client sells health supplements in the United States in a wildly lucrative yet competitive niche. One of the main issues we faced is that their old website looked like it was definitely one of the first websites ever built, and users weren't sticking around on it and converting like they should. The site needed a 2023 overhaul. I mean, are you gonna ingest supplements purchased from a website that has the UX design of Pac-Man? This wasn't only hurting their conversions, but Google was tracking these people bouncing from their website, and that resulted in lower rankings and traffic. Also, the website had low EEAT. It was hard for both Google and readers to tell who owned the site, and it was impossible to figure out if those unknown owners were trustworthy of high rankings. Now, don't worry, we'll get into all this stuff soon. In addition, the content on the site was not optimized for SEO. The product descriptions themselves needed an overhaul, but the website itself needed massive supporting content in order to build topical relevance in their niche category. And finally, the website had a bunch of links, but it was missing a certain type of link that would round out the link profile and give it trust. Oh yeah, and one more thing. That website redesign was going on at the same time. So we had to coordinate a website migration alongside all this SEO. We had our work cut out for us, and work our asses off we did, ultimately resulting in a 61% increase in traffic, and the client was making a butt ton more money. I'm about to teach you all the tactics that got these gains. But before I get started, let me know if you appreciate content like this by dropping a bomb on the like button. It's a solid win-win. Sure, it gives me a sweet dopamine trigger, which makes me addicted to making more videos like this, but it also lets the YouTube algorithm know what you want to see more of. The first item on our list is how to establish EEAT on your website. I'm starting with this because it's critical to do, but 90% of SEO professionals get this wrong. EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. This unwieldy acronym, which I'm now just going to call EAT, is a big hit in Google's quality rater guidelines and comes up 126 freaking times. So people interpret EAT as a pretty big deal. It's full of implications like health content should only be written by doctors, supplement content is best written by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and cat shaving content can only be written by Dr. Evil. I made a video called My Official Thoughts on the #1 Google ranking factor discussing EAT. To save you the time from watching it, here's a spoiler. The way most SEO gurus teach EAT is complete and utter bullshit. Stop for a minute and think about it. Google needs to process 8.5 billion searches per day, and Google needs to take the 1.13 billion websites on the internet and sort them for each of these searches every day. Do you think Google is really going to go to your website, see who is writing your content, track down your LinkedIn profile, see what university you went to, then call up the dean to make sure you majored in your niche topic and got a 3.0 GPA or higher? They go broke doing it for just 1% of the internet. And even if they had the capacity and infinite budget to do it, have you considered how easy it would be to fake? You need to think like a search engine. There are indeed some things that Google's crawler can check for cheaply and effectively, and that's what you should focus on, such as making it easy for readers to contact you. They give plenty of examples of this in the quality rater guidelines, and it makes sense. How easy is it for a crawler to figure out if you have a contact page or not? So make one. Don't just have a form on it, but include your address, hard printed email, as well as a phone number. Make an effort. For an extra touch, you can also place contact information in your navigation and footer bars. Pro tip, when adding telephone numbers and email addresses, always remember to make them clickable. This is especially important for your mobile website, as it means that users can simply click the contact information to call or email you instead of having to highlight, copy, and paste it. If you have an e-commerce site, also include customer service information like shipping details or return policies. Hell, I even do this for affiliate sites by creating a return@domains.com email address and stamping it on my site. Next, you want to go balls to the wall with your about page. Talk about the history of your business. Real, trustworthy businesses have the story. Crappy SEO websites don't. Flash your credentials if you got them, or at the very least the high authority websites that you've been featured on. List out who is behind the business and who creates content for the website. Include a headshot, a link to social media profiles, and individual email addresses. Again, we're giving the crawler something easy to detect. Do these have to be real people? What if you have an affiliate website and you don't feel comfortable placing your face on it? Personas work perfectly fine, but you can do better. Get your writers on there, or better yet, influencers. Check out my video called How to Beat EAT and get influencers to represent your SEO website after you finish here. Next, in the content itself, have author bios pointing out who wrote the content. Include again the author name, a short bio of their experience, links to social media, and a headshot. You should also make sure that your content is up to date. Content freshness is another recommendation from the Quality Rater Guidelines. Add a last modified date both visibly and using schema in your content. Optimize your title and headings to signal the freshness of your content. All the aforementioned tasks show that you're making an effort, and that effort can be easily picked up by Google's robot. But it turns out that according to Google search liaison Gary Ilyas, EAT is, quote, largely based on links. Which brings me to the link building part of this tutorial, and how this client had a great link profile, but it was missing a single link type to pull it all together. If we go back to this tweet, it specifically pointed out that it's links on authoritative websites like the Washington Post that create EAT. The Washington Post is what's known as a seed site. Seed sites are manually curated, super trusted websites on the internet that Google thinks are the best. If you get a link directly from a seed site, that's awesome, but super rare. If you get a link from another website that has a link from a seed site, that's the next best thing. What's the best way to get seed site links? The first is digital PR. What you're doing here is creating newsworthy stories and getting them in the front of the eyes of journalists in the biggest online publications. I wrote this article on which tech companies have had the biggest impact in the 21st century. It leverages data and polls to achieve its conclusions. And it's picked up 65 backlinks, including the New York Times. To succeed at digital PR, you need to start with a relevant story. What subject is particularly important today? Then you want to make your content as linkable as possible. This almost always means that you want to include a lot of hard data. And lastly, you want to be able to get this in front of journalists that are interested in that subject. I have a full video coming up on digital PR, so make sure to subscribe. That said, these days I get Ferry and the amazing team over at Search Intelligence to run our campaigns. The second way to get seed site links is through Haro. Haro stands for Help a Reporter Out, and it's a platform where journalists can request quotes from the public, such as how has AI affected your workplace? If you submit an answer to this question and they use it, they'll give you a link. Haro is a great link building tool because it's free to use. It's just a major time sink. Anything free is going to attract SEOs like flies on poop. So you need the following strategies in order to get results. Step 1, sign up to Haro as a source. 3 times per day at 5:35 a.m., 12:35 p.m., and 5:35 p.m. Eastern Time, you're going to get an email looking like this with your opportunities. You want to jump on these as soon as they come out, and I'm going to show you the key to speed later.
I feel the need for speed.
This is what a request looks like. You reply to this email here with your submission. Tip number 1, use ChatGPT to churn out quick replies. You want to answer as many of these as possible and quickly. Doing them all manually will be the death of you. I like to give it a prompt like this. A journalist has asked me, how has AI affected your workplace? I'm the CEO and founder of the online publication Diggity Marketing. Write a 50-word response to this that is clever, controversial, and extremely likely to be cited. And bam, here we go. Fire this off to the journalist and move on to the next. Tip number 2, respond to as many queries as possible, even if they're not directly in line with what you do. This is a numbers game. Now, that doesn't mean answering questions that only a veterinarian would know. But if you have a blog about VPNs, you can still answer questions as a pet owner. Relevance does not matter here. Are you going to turn down a link from American Express because their site isn't about VPNs? Tip number 3, make your subject line stand out. As you can imagine, these journalists are getting bombarded with emails. Use a format like this. Haro response in eye drawing brackets, then your particular expertise, then add the query subject. Like this, Haro response, CEO of 5 online businesses, AI in the workplace. Tip number 4, have a dope email signature. This is a nonchalant way to show off who you are and why they should link to you. At this point in time, we needed to migrate the website to the new look on the new site. If you've ever done a domain migration, you know that chances are that everything will go fine. But there's a decent chance too that everything will explode in your face. Here's how to make sure it'll go smoothly, guaranteed. But first, why do a site migration in the first place? Maybe you want to change your domain name. It's time to upgrade from your poorly chosen myvpnreviews.info. Maybe you're upgrading your CMS and getting your client's dinosaur website off Wix. Or maybe you're switching hosts, the list goes on. What happens when a migration goes wrong? Oh, stuff like losing all your rankings and traffic because you didn't properly map your redirects. Yeah, that. Never mess it up with the following plan. Pick a smart date for migration. You want a date when a minimal amount of people will be on your site and clearly not a huge day for sales like Black Friday. Personally, I always migrate on Saturdays. Crawl your existing website. I'll use Screaming Frog to get a complete list of all the URLs on my original site so that nothing gets lost. as well as a list of existing redirects, broken links, and 404s, which you can fix during the migration. Create the backup of your website in case the poop hits the fan. Create a staging site like staging.diggitymarketing.com. And for the love of God, please make sure it doesn't index by setting the robots.txt commands like this. Next, copy over the old content to the new site. Now here's where you need to be super careful. You need to do 301 redirects on each page of content to tell Google that the URLs exist in a new location on the new site now. If you mess this up, you will lose your rankings and traffic. I recommend keeping a table like this that you can use to meticulously make sure that you redirected each page. Next, you need to update your internal links. If you mess this up, you will lose rankings and traffic too. In your website's HTML code, you're still going to have links pointing to the old domain. These will be broken if you don't fix them. Now, after you've checked things a million times, it's time to seal the deal and update your DNS settings to point to the new IP address. Also, let Google know with Search Console's change of address tool. And don't forget to remove the indexing block in your robots.txt. Oh, and here's a step that usually gets left out. Make 100% sure that you generate a new XML sitemap with your new URLs instead of just copying over the old one with the old URLs. Now it's time to start logging into your rank and traffic trackers an unhealthy amount of times per day to make sure that the new site is picking things up where the old one left off. If you want some help with the site migration, reach out to us at thesearchinitiative.com. We've done this more times than I'd like to count. Next, whether you're in the e-commerce game or not, pay attention to the next section, because content optimization is the biggest thing you can do to improve your SEO traffic. And in e-commerce, that boils down to optimizing product descriptions. Any piece of content with buyer intent, whether that be an e-commerce page or an affiliate product review, has a dual purpose. First, to get traffic on Google by being SEO optimized, and second, to convert readers into buyers. Always keep your target customer in mind. For example, if you're selling or reviewing headphones to casual listeners on your site, you're going to want to put your lower end durable headphones front and center and use language like great for everyday use. But for the audio files, it's all about sound quality, so you'd use nerdy jargon words like lossless and signal to noise ratio. But also, don't overdo it when it's not needed. Nike puts their product images forward in this product page because everyone knows what a fleece is. You either like the design or you don't. In those cases, when you do need to dig into the details, be informative. List out the key features and benefits, the technical specifications, and FAQs. And make sure that your descriptions are unique. One of the worst things you can do is rip the descriptions and copy them over from the manufacturer's website. Google holds back duplicate content. Here's a description taken directly from Sony's website about one of their TVs. And here's a website that went, yoink, that sounds nice, I'll use it on my site. Not just once, but 10,000 times. How much traffic does this page get on Google? Is 0 a lot? Lastly, how you structure your product descriptions and reviews matters just as much as your content. And UX is going to get more and more important over time since the advent of AI, so make sure you're organized and clear. After all this effort, we were able to improve this client's traffic by 61%. And they now rank for 2,200 keywords, an increase of 188% compared to their baseline. If you'd like us to do this to your site, head on over to thesearchinitiative.com, scroll down to the bottom to the contact form and reach out. We'll take a look at your website and let you know what we can do for you.